Has a single instant ever flipped your entire existence upside down? One moment, everything seems perfect, and the next, your deepest convictions lie in ruins. That's exactly what happened to me during a lively family gathering for my wife's cousin. I stepped outside to take a quick phone call, and what I saw in that brief window will haunt me forever. Stay with me, as this tale only grows more intricate. The day started with the comforting rhythm of routine. My wife, Emily, and I had woven 3 wonderful years of marriage, our connection feeling unshakable despite occasional hurdles. We were on our way to her cousin's birthday celebration, and I was genuinely excited. Emily's family is warm, expansive, and always inviting, turning every event into a cozy embrace. The house hummed with the scent of freshly baked pastries, the sound of cheerful chatter, and the soft clink of glasses. Emily glowed, her smile illuminating the room as she mingled with relatives. Her laughter floated through the air, and I felt a surge of warmth watching her thrive in the moment. Yet, beneath my happiness, a faint unease flickered. Something felt amiss, though I couldn't quite grasp it. I noticed Emily speaking with her cousin, James, more than usual. It wasn't just their words that stood out. It was the way their gazes locked, a subtle spark passing between them that I couldn't dismiss. I tried to brush it off as overthinking, telling myself it was nothing. But as the night unfolded, that gnawing feeling only intensified. Needing a moment to clear my head, I slipped outside for a work call. The crisp evening air was a balm, and I focused on the conversation, trying to quell my disquiet. But as my eyes drifted back to the house, I saw them, Emily and James, standing too close on the veranda, their laughter intimate and unguarded. My chest tightened. James's hand rested gently on Emily's arm, and she didn't flinch. There was no tension, no unease in her stance. It was a gesture laden with meaning, heavy with unspoken intent. I stood frozen, my thoughts spiraling as I tried to process the scene. My stomach twisted as a crushing realization began to sink in. Something was unfolding between them. I cut the call short, my heart racing as I headed back to the house. I needed clarity, and I couldn't wait another moment. My hands shook as I approached Emily, struggling to keep my emotions in check. The weight of the moment pressed down, suffocating me. When I reached her, she offered her familiar, radiant smile, but I couldn't mirror it. "I saw you with James," I said, my voice low, trembling with strain. For a brief second, her expression faltered. She knew precisely what I meant. "It's not what you think," she whispered, her eyes sliding away from mine. But her face told a different story. Guilt was written in every feature. "What's happening, Emily?" I demanded, my words spilling out in a rush. "What's going on with you and James?" A heavy silence stretched between us, her gaze searching mine as if scrambling for the right words. My heart felt like it was fracturing, but I couldn't stop seeking the truth. At last, she let out a trembling breath and spoke, her voice unsteady. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she said. It just did. James and I, it wasn't intentional." Her words sliced through me like a knife. She didn't need to elaborate. She had been involved with James behind my back. How long had this been happening? Days. Months. The pain was excruciating, my vision blurring as I fought to stay calm. Emily tried to explain further, but her voice was a distant murmur, drowned out by the overwhelming truth. Everything we had created, our love, our shared life, felt like a mirage. My trust in her crumbled, the bond one thought we shared torn to pieces in an instant. "I'm so sorry," she said, her voice cracking with emotion. "I never meant to hurt you." But how could I trust her words? How could I see her the same way after this betrayal? How could I ever believe in her again? Each word she uttered felt like it was strangling me, the air growing denser with every passing moment. I loved her deeply, but this wasn't something I could simply erase from my heart. The rest of the night passed in a fog. Emily stayed close, but an invisible gulf had opened between us. The laughter that once warmed the room now felt hollow, the music a faint whisper in the background. Every glance at Emily was like seeing a stranger. She was no longer the woman I thought I knew, the one I had given my heart to. I remained at the gathering, but my thoughts were elsewhere, unable to meet anyone's eyes. The family carried on, oblivious to the tempest that had just shattered my world. The drive home was stifling, the silence between us thick with unspoken pain. I didn't know how to begin confronting the betrayal. The woman I had married, the one I thought I knew completely, had broken my trust. When we arrived home, I was adrift. Could I find a way to forgive her? Could we rebuild what we had? Or was this the end of all we'd created? That night, I lay awake, the weight of the betrayal crushing me. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Nothing would ever be the same again. What would you do in my shoes? Could you muster the strength to forgive such a betrayal, or would you walk away? I'd love to hear your perspective. This story is far from finished, and I'll share more as it unfolds.